Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I am just sitting having a rest. I have been in my garden today. I've cut 3 lawns today. Cut the big one, very big one in my back garden, and the small one at the top of my patio, and a medium-sized one in my front garden. And after that I do need a rest. I was actually running up and down on my big lawn. It takes such a long time to cut that one. I usually run up and down with the lawnmower. But I was having to empty that box so many times. I think it was only about 2 weeks since I cut it. And it's really grown, it's shot away, and it is quicker for me. It's more exercise as well if I run up and down with the lawnmower. So I do need a rest after that. And I only tackle one job at a time in my garden. Well, that was 3 jobs, actually, three lawns, but I class that as one job. It's cutting the grass. At least that's done, and then I can start next time I go out, which will probably be tomorrow, because like I'm saying, I only do one lot of things, and that's my lot for today, because, you know, at my age it is getting harder and harder to do these things. So I'll go out probably tomorrow, depending on the weather, but I think the weather's going to be fine for a few days. We tackle some of the weeds and get some of the weeds out of my front garden and my back garden. And my rhubarb has gone to seed. It's shooting up high like stems with flower things on, and I need to pull them off as well and pull some of the rhubarb off before I lose it. But I have got to go for a walk. I was just sitting down having a rest. I was just checking I finished my cup of tea. Finished it before I came on. That's what I was doing, having a cup of tea, and I'll do a little bit knitting for probably half an hour, and then I'm going to walk to the post office because I have a lot of envelopes to post with my knitting patterns in. Because I'm really surprised how many people have been buying my knitting patterns. I didn't realise how popular they were. And I put them on eBay on Friday, I think it was, and they started coming on 1 or 2 on Friday, but Saturday and Sunday, that's all I did. I was up and down, going to my dining table and writing out the envelopes, and I think I bought 20 stamps the other day when I was in the post office, and they are gone. That's why I'm going out today. I need some more stamps, and I have some more patterns to post, have another few more to post. It'll die off a little bit, you know, it's the first few I've put up, and it'll die off a little bit, but I am going to do this little one I'm doing here. But like I'm saying, that's all I was doing, writing envelopes and putting them in. I could have done with a secretary to write them out for me, actually. But I've been doing this is another one of my little PDFs I have, just a single PDF. And I've done it's all in one, the back and the 2 fronts. And I'm going to do a PDF for this one because people seem to like these ones all in one. It'll be 3 sizes on it, the same as the little rosebud one I done. This is a 16-inch one. There'll be an 18 and a 20-inch. I can probably work them out in my head without having to actually knit them. But I'm only knitting this one because I had an email from a lady who was following the pattern, and she said she had done the first row of the pattern and she could not get it to end up with the same number of stitches. She had to end up at the end of the stitches to knit the end of the row. And this is done with a little bit more stitch for the border for the buttons and that. So she had to end up with knitting 3 stitches at the end. She started off with 3 stitches, knitting 3 stitches, and then there was the pattern in brackets, and at the end you should have 3 stitches and then do the little moss stitch for the band. And she said it didn't matter how many times she did that row, she didn't have the right number of stitches. She was 2 stitches short. So I knit this, I started knitting this to check whether I had made a mistake in the pattern, and I actually had. But it's not a mistake that alters the pattern. I start off at the start knitting the 4 moss stitch on this row, doing the 4 moss stitch, and then I knitted 3 stitches, and then I put the pattern into brackets, which had to be repeated all the way across the row. And in those brackets, the last 2 stitches were 2 knit stitches, and I put after the brackets to knit 3 and then do the moss stitch. And I should have put knit 1, because 2 of those stitches, which the 3 I had at the start, there should be 3 at the end, but 2 of the stitches were in the pattern that was in the brackets, and I made a mistake there. But most people had worked around it there, and I don't think most people had noticed, but that lady she had been, you know, having a bit of trouble and thought she was doing it, she wasn't doing it right. So that was why I started knitting this, to actually do the pattern, to see what I had done wrong. So that's what I like, when people tell me if they find something wrong in the pattern, then I can put it right. So I'm going to make out this will be, the PDF will be 3 sizes in it, and I'll alter that stitch what I've done wrong on that first size. But I've done, that's the back and the 2 fronts all done in 1, and I am nearly finished the sleeve on it. And I only started that yesterday. I like that little one. It doesn't take very long to knit in this wool. This is the majestic wool that you can't seem to get anyway, and it's lovely wool to knit. This different colours in it, there's different kinds of wool, and I'm sure this one has got acrylic and polyester in it. You can't probably notice, but the stitches are all split, that like the twist is not like, it's all like separate strands. It's hard to show for you to see it on there, but it's lovely wool to knit. It feels lovely, it's lovely and soft. And most of it, at one time it was £1 a ball, for £1 a ball most places. But places don't seem to be getting it anymore. I don't know why. It's a nice wool to knit with, and I have a few different kinds. I have Aran in it as well. But anyway, I'm just going to do a little bit knitting, and then for about half an hour, and then I'm going to go for a walk. I do have a car, but I don't use my car for little, you know, it's only about a 10, maybe 15 minute, probably about a 15-minute walk to a slow walk for what I do. I don't walk fast there. So I don't use my car for every little journey I make. If it's within walking distance like that, it saves petrol as well. So that's what I'll be doing, and I have hung some washing out, and I was looking at it did actually turn chilly. That's why I had to put a cardigan on, because I was just in my t-shirt, and I was outside my t-shirt, and I came back in the house, and all of a sudden it really clouded over and it started feeling chilly, and I had to put my cardigan on. And this cardigan I'm wearing is not knitted, it's a crocheted one. One of my few attempts at making clothes for crochet, and as you can see, it only fits where it touches. I have to stretch it to fasten it. That's why I don't wear it very often. I like crocheting. I can knit crochet. I mean, I can crochet, I can do a lot of things in crochet, but make clothes, I can never get them to work out the right size. I have a couple of waistcoats I've done in crochet, they're okay, but this cardigan started off, I did the chain, and the chain was a lot longer than what I thought I actually needed. That's how I started it off. But as you start going up, you know, you start crocheting and going up and up, further and up, it seems to get narrower and narrower. So what I thought was going to be a 42, and it's ended up about a 38, I think. It's about a 38 because it doesn't quite meet at the middle there. So that was just to let anyone know that's looking, in case I think it's knitted. It's not knitted, it's crochet. So I think as soon as I finish probably the sleeve on this thing, and then I'll go and do a little walk. And that's just a little bit to let you know what I've been up to today and what else I'm going to get up to. I'll probably, after I finish this cardigan, I'll probably start writing out the PDF, and I'll have to sort out the number of stitches I need for the bigger sizes, and then get on with my other ones I was doing. I started another one. That one's another one I want to do for a PDF, to finish another PDF for that one. And then I can put those up onto, when I get the PDF sorted, and I'll be able to print out the patterns and that for them, and then I'll be able to put more up onto eBay. But I do have some patterns. I'll go and get the patterns and show you what I mean. I have a lot of patterns here. This is the number of patterns. You can see how thick they are. That I actually wasted paper and ink when I was trying to first print them out. It took a little bit practice to get them right. I'm going to show you what I mean by one or two of them. That's how this is my own pattern, the one I have here. This is the one for the little blackberry hat and that. And then it has, you know, the patterns to show you the different ones. And I do put a little bit paper in the pattern when I send out the patterns for this one here, because I didn't put the instructions for how to do the two colour, because I only put that pattern on to show that for the round neck. I wasn't putting it on for the two colours actually, but just in case anybody wanted to know how to do it, I had a little bit paper inside with the instructions for how to do that, because I didn't have enough. As you can see, the patterns took up the whole sheet. There was no room, more room for that on. But when I first started printing this one out, that's how it should look. But that was how it come out. I had the back is the same. So that way, the back is the same. But I had something on the printer that I print where you can reverse things, and it reversed it the wrong way around. So I have quite a few like that. Absolutely nothing wrong with the pattern. All the instructions are as it should be. Just that one is facing the wrong way. It should have been up like that. That writing, that should have been at the top. That was one thing that's wrong. I'll put my pattern down there, that one. And then this one, this is a little rosebud one, and it came out very pale. I did had to find another way to darken that picture to show, because you can vaguely see what it's like, but it does have another one on the back. And I had managed to write, I was practicing how to get the writing on. That was something else I had to practice on my computer. But everything else, the printing inside is perfect. Everything's okay with that one. And then the likes of this one. This one's perfect as well, the front, but the back don't know whether you can see it on here. I hold it really close. You can see light lines down the printer. I had my printer set just on standard, and I should have had it set on high, because that was how I worked out afterwards. I set it on high and it come out right, but all the patterns were coming out like that with lines down there. That one, but that's another one. The pattern's perfect. There's nothing wrong with the pattern. There was other things as well when I was showing you what I meant. Lines, you can see the lines on there. That's how they were coming out. And that was another way of trying to put the writing on for the size and everything. So somebody suggested that, why don't I see if I can sell these cheaper? So what I've thought about is to put one of these, one of those, and one of those, like that. Put the 3 up on eBay for the price what I've got for one at the moment, and put them up as imperfect. That's how you have to put them on eBay. But there is some other things with some of the other patterns. I'll find the other ones amongst these and show you some of the other. Oh, that pattern was okay, just the printing, the picture came out okay, just I hadn't learned how to write the size across here like I did on the other. I just wrote it in myself across the top. That was that one. That's the one where you can probably see how the print didn't come out. The lines across there, there's like blue lines going across, and the same on the back, the picture on the back. But while I did that, the writing was perfect. There was no lines on the writing or anything like that, just only seemed to be on the picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the moss stitch one, the blackberry one, and the rosebud one. Put 3 cardigans up for £2.50. The cardigan patterns for £2.50, and for anyone that might be interested in some cheaper patterns, but have them, they'll be written down on eBay as imperfect, not the way the other ones are classed as perfect. I have quite a few, but I think I only have 4 of those ones. But if I do sell them, I'll probably maybe print just some more out of these ones to make up to go with all the other patterns that I have to add, like the 3 patterns in for. So you'll probably get once these 4 go. I think that's 4 I have with these ones like that. Once those 4 go, there'll be a perfect one in with it, just to get something back for what I've wasted on the paper and the ink. So that's what I'm going to do. If anyone's interested, just look on eBay. I'll sort them out later on, and they'll be up on eBay for sale for 3 patterns for the price of £2.50. Some people like to buy a second pattern because they like to write things on patterns. You know, it's like how many rows they've done or something like that, and they like to keep it in one pattern perfect and another one for writing on. That's what they do. I used to do that myself actually one time, when patterns were a lot cheaper actually in my young day. So anyway, that's just a little bit to let you know what I've been doing and what I'm going to do. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.